Howdy, people. This project is going to be called Fractal Trees. Right now, I believe it's number 33, but don't quote me on that. It might change. Fractals. Let's go search for fractals real quick and see what they are. Images. You may have seen these before. They are repeating shapes that the more you zoom in, the more detail they have. They're repetitious. Let's go actually find a definition on Wikipedia. A mathematical set that exhibits a repeating pattern displayed at every scale. Yeah. Expanding symmetry or evolving symmetry. And notice they got a picture and they zoom in on it and there's more, and they zoom in on it and there's more, and they zoom in on it and there's more. And there's real life examples, like this little, is that cauliflower or broccoli? Sometimes you'll see a picture of a beach. Let's see if there's an aerial picture of a, yeah, that's a perfect example of this Amazon River, or wherever this is. Maybe it's Alaska, I don't know. But yeah, all the tributaries branch out as fractals. If you zoomed in on those, there'd be more little teeny streams and stuff. That's pretty cool. Any other good ones? Yeah, lots of bodies of water. Pretty cool. Okay, so let's get started. I'm sorry, we're making fractal trees. Let's see what they look like. These are all real ones. There's a fake one. And that's probably a fake one. That's definitely a fake one. This is more like what we're doing, okay? And this one. And, you know, these look pretty symmetrical, pretty straightforward, but you can, once you can make fractal trees, you can put a little bit of randomness in them and get them a little prettier, which I don't know if we'll do that in this video, but let's just get started, okay? I'm going to hit play and show you what the final product looks like. And I got one tree, and I actually have a trees procedure that does random amount of trees, not random, a certain amount of trees. And there is a bit of randomness in my tree drawing block, but other than that, no, it's different every time. Yeah, there's a bit of a quick change, abrupt change in the trunk size to the next branches on some of these, which I don't quite like, but other than that, it makes me pretty happy. So let's get one solid tree drawn, and then we'll worry about all the variables and making it a little bit random and stuff, okay? So let's get started. If you want a hint to do this on your own, if you don't want a hint, pause now. If you do want a hint, what sprite did that use? I think did it use one of these existing ones? Let's go big. I can't move this. There we go. I don't think it used an existing one. Oh, maybe it did the ball. Okay. We're going to have this be our mover thing, and you'll see why. We're going to actually set color to 50. Yeah, and then it looks like a leaf, which we'll have at the end of our trees, okay? So remember, this is going to use the pen tool to draw. So here's a few hints. We are going to draw. I want you to try this on paper. I'm going to pull this out on paper, or at least on paint. And I want you to plan this out. How is it going to work? Okay, this is what programmers do. Programmers don't watch videos that say, here's how you solve your company's problem, and here's the steps. They're given a problem, and then they're supposed to figure out how to solve it, right? So we know that we need to start somewhere. That's part of it. Our little sprite's going to draw. It's going to put the pen tool down. It's going to move up a bit. And then what's it going to do? Well, it's going to split, right? And you're like, I don't know how to do that. How do you go this way and then split and go this way and then go this way and split? And you see there's some angles there every time. Maybe this is 30 or 45 degrees or something like that. And we go like that. Maybe it gets smaller angle every time. But when I get to the end, maybe I draw a leaf, not leaves the whole tree down. And then do I come back and, oh, and I don't need to go back there, and then go out again and come out, and oh, maybe I need more of these. So let's branch a little less steep angles like that. Boom, boom. And then, no leaves yet. And then branch there. There we go. This is looking better. Boom, boom. These are not mathematically accurate, but 30 degrees on each side-ish. Well, we might have some crossover in the middle, but that's okay. Does this look a little better? Ugh, not that great, but what if we went again? What if we branched off here, and branched off here, and branched off here, and branched off here, and here, and there's actually, in college computer science classes, when you talk about trees, like not life trees, but data structures of trees, you can code something that goes down each one of these and draws all the way, and then it says, okay, come back, draw. But it involves a thing called a stack, where you make a bunch of actions and then go backwards and work your way off the stack. And I don't know that we can do that in Scratch. Maybe we can. I haven't thought about it a ton. I haven't tried it, but there's a better way. Okay, so we're not going to keep track of where we've been and back up every time. That would be a lot of work. How do I, when I get here, draw two things? How do I draw that way and then keep going? Hey, I'll draw that way, and kind of at the same time or with the same code. Does this sound familiar? I hope it does. So what we just did, we moved some steps with the pen down, obviously, and then we turned, and we didn't even turn yet, right? Oh yeah, we did turn. Let's kind of do this in fake code. We turn left 30 degrees or whatever, and drew again and moved again. So turn, I'll just draw an arrow, turn left. And then at the same time at this point, we also turn right. Okay, so this is what's kind of funky. And then we're going to rinse and repeat. And maybe we don't move quite as far every time. Maybe our move distance goes down a little bit, but we turn left and move, and oh no, we need to put our spawn in here. We need to spawn this extra thing. So let's turn left and spawn. And what's a good word for this? A clone. I'm going to call it clone. You know it's going to be a clone, right? And then that clone's going to start at the beginning and do its own thing when I start as a clone, or during a broadcast, we'll see. And we're going to turn right twice or double the amount, and then clone again, right? And what are each of these clones going to do? What's the magic mystery that the clones are going to do? Well, they're going to come back up here. They're going to move their current angle, and then they're going to, one of them is going to turn 30 degrees. Sorry, clone and turn 30 degrees and clone. And then it's going to turn right, 30 plus 30, 60 degrees, and clone and move. And this one's going to, okay, so that's kind of the algorithm or the pseudocode that helps us think about this tree project, okay? And it may or may not help you, but I mean, that's how you do it probably if you were going to try to figure this out on your own. But let's get started, okay? When I click the green flag, and we'll try this a few wrong ways. One more hint for those who want to do this on their own who haven't paused already. We do need to take advantage of what we saw earlier on the Clone Basics video, that when we hit create a clone of myself on this clone, that it makes one of them, and now there's two. And what's going to happen if I create a clone of myself again? Nothing. It's when I start as a clone, create a clone of myself. This only does, it only makes one. Okay. So when I have a repeat block, create a clone of myself, that's still just going to make 10 clones. I'm going to hit stop. I need to find out the situation where, okay, so I just made 10. Let's see if there's 10 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 clones. Okay. So if you remember in that video, there was a way that we doubled the clones. Okay. So what if I use the broadcast, create a clone of myself? When I receive message 1, sure, whatever, create a clone of myself. Let's stop. Okay. Boom. I got a broadcast. Oops, sorry. Broadcast. That's not working. There we go. Got a clone of myself. 1, 2 of them. If I broadcast again. Okay, check that out. This is every clone receives the broadcast. Okay. And makes a clone of themselves. Okay, so does this look useful? It doesn't seem useful at the beginning. You're like, I get double the clones every time? They grow too fast. But if you remember from this tree, every level doubles. And that's actually part of the reason trees are so useful. Again, not these trees, but data structure trees that hold numbers at the end, like 3, 5, 7, is it doubles every layer. And that can sort a lot of data quickly, and because it doubles every time in size. So anyway, let's hit stop and let's get started. That's your hints. You could probably get pretty far into this on your own if you think of this algorithm. Move, turn clone, turn right clone. Want to try it? Okay, so we're going to set our color, and we're going to get our pen. We'll clear all the old pen stuff out, and well, we'll do that later. I always like to plug that in later when we realize we need it. This is the color effect of the, oh yeah, it turns this thing green, which is just, hey, why are you not green? What the deuce? Whatever. And then we're going to put the pen down. We're going to go somewhere, right? Let's go to the middle. So let's put about X got to be 0, right? And Y, negative 120, whatever. And we're going to put the pen down and start moving, right? Give it a whirl. Come to this point. I mean, you got all the blocks laid out kind of that you need. We're going to put the pen down. Oh, what's the pen color? And where the heck do I find brown for a tree trunk? Well, I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to use orange. This orangish. It's actually, can I go off? I can't go off screen and get brown. I would have to find a brown sprite like this bat and suck up the color there. Let's try that. Yeah, that's a little too, whatever. Okay. All right, set color to pen to color brown. We're going to move. Are we going to go angles or X's and Y's? Well, if we ever move diagonal, X's and Y's are going to be a pain, or at least not that great. And we talked about turning in our algorithm, in our fake code, our planning stage. So let's move. So let's point up, right? Point up, because that's the way we're going to be moving first. And we're going to move some steps, and let's try 10. That's probably not very far. Let's go 30, 40. Let's go 30. Okay, hit play. I want a taller tree. Let's go 50. Boom. Okay, there we go. And if I start over or whatever, it's just going to keep drawing the same troops. And so we need the pen up at the end. Let's just start clearing right here, just to be safe. Okay, we got clear. Awesome. Okay. What else we got? Okay, so what did I say in my planning? This is where you go back to your planning. You're like, oh, I got stuck. I got lost. Oh, we need to turn, spawn a clone. Ooh, this is going to be a little bit funky, but I think we can do it. Let's give it a try. See how far you can get ahead of me. Go ahead and pause here. All right, did you give it a try? So we got one branch. We'll worry about the thickness and the angles, the exact angles, or the variables, the randomness later. Let's just get something tree-like drawn. I found one more example, human veins. And there's tons of examples in nature, but here's another one. Lungs, the growth of lungs, veins on the heart or anywhere in the body, coral reefs, anything. Pretty cool stuff, okay? All right, so check this out. We move a little bit up, and now we're going to do a bunch of repeat stuff, right? We know that from our earlier thing, we need to repeat this a bunch of times. And let's go like maybe 5 or 4 levels. Let's try 5. Oh, we'll do 4. Okay. Now this is the weird part. It's going to be, you kind of wrestle with it, don't quite get it, and then you have to get a hint. Okay. So we are going to, what do we do now? We've moved here. Well, do we turn first or do we clone first? I think we said we move, turn, clone. So let's try turn and left. And let's just use 15 degrees to start off with. Clone, turn right, turn right. Now, who just turned right? Well, this sprite, this green thing. Oh, and that size is way too big. Let's use our shrink-a-dink tool. It looks like it's off a little bit. Set size to whatever that size is. 40% is good. Okay. So we got that much. Did not clear. There it goes. Okay. And now if we move again, what's going to happen? Let's just go move steps. Sorry, wrong one. Move steps. How many we're moving? 50. Let's go 40 for the other ones. But 50 makes more sense, I guess. But now if we move, who's going to move? Boom, boom. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so let's go prove that we made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clones. We made a bow and arrow. Sorry, with the original and 4 clones. And it turned right. So it turned left, made a clone, turned right, and moved. And then it left kind of a clone poop trail everywhere it went, right? A green clone poop trail. It didn't double every time, and it didn't do what we wanted. Because the green flag was only clicked once, this is the only block that ever ran, right? So we did create a clone of ourselves, but we didn't do any messaging, broadcasting to double the size. So to be honest, we're not going to create a clone of ourselves in this repeat block because we'll only get 4 clones on 4 repeats. We want to get 2, 4. So if this happened 4 times, we want 2, 4, 8, 16 clones at the end. Okay, so we need to broadcast a message, and I'll call this, what do we want to call it? Split? Let's call it split. And we're going to, this split is going to do the turning and all that, and the cloning. So when I receive split branch, we're going to turn left, create a clone, and turn right, and then, ooh, all the clones need to move. Okay, so this isn't, let's see if it works, but I don't know if all the clones are going to move. Okay, so let's try it. Boom, and we got something a little better. Not quite right still, right? We did go left. Let's clear, like, let's get rid of, oh, it's, this one's still drawing itself. Okay, so move steps. Each one, we're getting close, but that's not quite right? We didn't get far enough left. This guy went left and then he kind of died. So the first turn left happened. So what if we moved before? And we just try to be random. Hey, wait a minute. Check that crap out. Okay, so what the heck? Why are we pen down? Oh, pen up. Pen never came up, did it? Shouldn't matter. Oh, we move after. Okay, so pen up before I clear. There we go. Okay, and boom. I didn't think it would fix it that quick. I was going to wrestle with it for a while, but sometimes you get lucky. Okay, now there's a few things here. Every degree is the same. We always turn 15 degrees. We always move 40 steps, so the tree is really tall. And hey, wait a minute. Oh, that first one's 50, right? This doesn't look like 40 steps to me, but whatever. So now that we got a tree drawn, let's start using some variables. Okay, does this make sense? Let's trace it real quick. Repeat this 4 times. We'll broadcast split. What does split do? It moves 40 steps, turns, clone, turn, turn. That's pretty much what it does. What does the clone do? Well, when I'm born as a clone, I sit there and I don't do anything until I receive split again. And when this clone receives split, it does that stuff. Okay, so let's do a variable size. And these are all 40. If you ignore the bottom that looks 50, these are supposedly all the same length of 40. Okay, so let's change this number and see what happens. Let's go 90. And our tree went off the charts. Let's go 10, and we'll get a 50 and a bunch of little ones. Let's go back 50. And now they should all be the same size, right? I'll hold my fingers up and see. This is not. The shorter ones are all the same length. I'm kind of confused about how the distance goes. Like this is 50. These are obviously not 50. It's like this is 50, and then all this together is a little more than 50. Yeah, it's a mystery to me. I'm not sure what's going on. Don't feel smart enough today to understand, but I am going to, let's do the angles. Okay, let's have it branch out a little bit differently. Okay, so I'm going to make a first variable called angle, and where does it go? Well, wherever I turn, right? So not move steps, turn left, and because I use turn right, I can just use angle again. I don't have to do a negative angle or multiply it by -1 like we've done sometimes. And let's try it again, and I got angles of 0, so it does that. And let's set angle to, what we got, 15. And we get our old tree back. Let's go 30. And I hope you have some fun. You can actually right click here and make a slider. And in the past we've asked the user, what do you want your angle to be? But it's kind of more fun for me to see it just interactively. Okay, let's make big angles. Oh, and that overrides it. So get rid of the set if you want to be able to use the slider. Again, you right click up here and make it a slider. You can set them to a maximum. Let's go see how low we can go. 3. Not very much branching at all. Let's go 90 or 100, more than 90. Whoa, and they crossed over each other. Let's go down to 90. And 90 is going to be ugly too. We get, no, it's not ugly. It's kind of cool, huh? Let's go under 90. We should start seeing something that looks a little more tree-like. Under 60, we'll get some hexagons. 40-ish. There we go. Okay, so now it's starting to look more like a tree. So maybe the sweet spot's between, I don't know, 15? Yeah, 15's about as low as I want. So I'm going to go say, hey, angle, let's set you to a random every time. You don't have to do it this way, but I choose to. Low 15, high 45. Oops, not 151. What if I make this really high? What if I go say, like, eventually you will just start to loop back, right? If I go 180, it just goes back on itself. 90, let's go 360, and it's just gonna sit in its pace, right? It's the same as 0 once you get to that. So, all right. Now let's hit play. Is that? There we go. Steeper. Okay. Shorter. Pretty cool. And this just makes me all kinds of happy. Still not understanding this move thing. That is not 50. Wonder if we turn in place or something. So let's go change this. Let's go 10 again. And I think, yeah, those are short. Let's make this not 100. That's too high. 80, 50, 70. I just want to see these things. That is not 70. That is not 70. It's driving me crazy. But anyway, let's make that go shorter every time. And it already does for some reason. That's what's bugging me. How does this get shorter every time? I should have to do that myself. I should have to, every time, change and make a variable called distance. How far we travel, and we plug that everywhere we move steps, right? Distance. I should have to change it by negative something every time, -5 or whatever, and make it smaller every time I repeat. And that, whoa, distance repeat 5 times 4 is 20. Oh, -5. Change angle? Oh, that was bad. Change distance. There we go. Oh, and we did it 4 times. We started at, oh, distance starts at 0. We got a negative distance when we drew an upside down tree. That's fun. So let's start at 50. And now 4 times -5 is -20. We'll get down to 30 for my lengths. Okay, and that's too tall. Something funky's going on. So we need to minus less, like -1. And yeah, I'm still not sure what the heck's going on. I put that in there because you should have to do that. I'm still not quite understanding why each of these branches is so short. Move distance steps, 46 steps. You are not 46 steps. Oh, notice I got a couple clones on the end there. That should, oh, I duplicated one last time and didn't move last time. Oh, that's what, is that it? So if I go back to like this and move at the bottom, that wasn't good. Yeah, that was bad. Anyway, what else can we do to this? We can change some random we can do random distances, right? Let's pick a random one's going to be too low. We don't want to go negative, so let's make sure we stay higher than, let's go 20 to 50. And we get random heights. We should see the top of the tree go at different heights. And that makes me happy. Oh, the thickness. Yeah, what about the thickness of the tree in the middle? What is that? That's the pen, right? So let's set the pen size something higher. And I'll put all this set stuff at the top. This is kind of my initialization, right? And I could put this in a separate purple procedure block called initialization, but I'm not going to. Set the pen size to, I don't know, 10 to start off with. And now I'll get fat trees, which is okay. And each, as that goes off, what happens to each new branch? Well, we're going to make a variable called thickness or size or whatever. We'll set thickness to 10-ish at the beginning with thick, and then we could multiply it down or just change the thickness every time by negative something or a random or whatever. Let's see. And that's not very noticeable. Oh, the pen tool. Oh, thickness doesn't do anything. We need to set the pen size to the thickness. Set thickness, set pen size to thickness. And then we need to do that again. I'm going to duplicate from there, throw everything under it away. And every time I go split, I should change the pen size. Whoa, you got skinny quick. And, oh, this changed the pen size for everybody every time it branched. So that's why this branch is thinner than this thicker branch. So that was a bad idea. Let's go do this in here. But maybe both of these. Okay. Now each layer should be the same thickness, right? And that's not fast enough. Let's go by -3 maybe. And whoa, I guess I don't know what I'm doing, because the right size here is looking all kinds of funky. Did not think that would happen. Thick. So what that means is this split happens. The left side gets split first, and the right side gradually is the more split. So these clones get created after. That's weird to me. Let's see. What does this one do? This one, the book just says to change the pen size by -1 every time. Let's try that. Change pen size by -1. I don't think that's gonna help, will it? We'll throw my thickness away and see. It's still doing the same thing, right? The book actually has another broadcast called Draw Branch. And let's do that. Because I don't want to waste your time. I want to make sure we have get this figured out. So Draw Branch. Okay. And what does Draw Branch look like? Well, it's this stuff, right? That's drawing the branches. But we'll keep this split, and Draw Branch will do the move stuff, okay? So Draw Branch is going to... Oh, you know what? Maybe Draw Branch can do the moves. Draw Branch is going to do the moves. And this will change the pen color. No, the pen size, I mean. And this will not broadcast split. We're going to call split in here, or Draw Branch. We're going to call both of them. Broadcast. We're going to split first and then draw the branch, right? Let's see if I've wrecked it completely. Ooh, if you ever get a bad broadcast name, you can right click and rename it on the broadcast out here. Let's hit play, and I just wrecked it. The move is happening first, so I need to draw the branch and split. Oh, you know what? I think we can get rid of the first one and do there. Yeah, check that out. I didn't need the first one now because there's only one branch, and it's going to draw branch first. It's going to move. So that made it a little more elegant, in my opinion. All this is still initialization stuff, right? Oh, what if I repeat? What if I go 8 times? Whoa, it starts to cross over itself. And my tree just got a little bit lopsided. I didn't quite notice that when I was doing smaller. 5? Is 5 okay? Yeah, it's getting lopsided, which means something weird's going on. Let's go find out. Oh, yeah. Every time I draw a branch, so I draw one branch out, and then, and this draw branch gets called a lot, right? 5 times, but for each clone as each level. So it happens a lot. And this change distance, which is the length of my branches, that happens every time. So this needs to go on each level. So remember, just think of it this way. This happens per branch. This happens per split, and this happens per layer of tree. So let's try that and see if it fixes it. There we go. Okay. Got some crossover. And now, what else can we do? The thickness. Oh, the distance. Oh, this is driving me crazy. How is the distance getting smaller each time? I'm going to run with it and keep it, but it shouldn't be. The distance is a random number. The distance, let's hit play and watch. Oh my goodness gracious me, that's driving me insane. The book makes you multiply the distance down, so each time the distance is actually set to itself times, remember how we slowly decreased our speed and stuff, times 0.95 or something like that. That's another way to decrease the distance gradually. And we don't want to change the pen size per branch. Right, that should still be messing up. We should change it per level. So let's try that there. Whoa, 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 whoa. The distance, did it not get small enough? Distance, that should make the distance go smaller. What have I done? Is it this? It has to be the distance variable, right? Yeah. Oh, no, not change distance. That grows it, right? We need to set the distance to itself times 0.95. Grammar. Come on, buddy. To change it means add that much onto it. So if it was 30, it'd add 26 or whatever on every time. There we go. Set it to itself by a small number. Change the pen size per layer. Let's change it more drastically. Let's go -3. Oh, gosh, that's not per layer. That's on the branches, too. Every time. So yeah, it is. The problem is that the branches on the left are drawn first. Okay, back to there, and it worked. Okay, too fast. -1 is good. All right, we're pretty close. Oh, pen color. It's all brown tree with green leaves, which is cool. What is it? You can change the pen color by, well, and this is just something the book shows. Every time you draw a branch, we're going to increase the pen color by 5. And check out what happens. It's kind of going fast, but I don't know if you like that or not. You could change the starting color a little bit, and it would maybe not look so garish. But yeah, we actually go from that brown, and let's actually start at this color, and now it should gradually kind of fade into a greenish branch, right? So repeat 5 times. Let's change that. I'm not liking all these layers always being 5. Let's go with minimum 3 up to 10. That 10's too much. Right? Let's go 8. And now we should have different depths of trees, right? Whoa, and that one was getting kind of hairy at the end. But yeah, this repeat, that's the cool part, yeah. And that doesn't look like a tree as much, right? But hopefully some of these where the angle is smaller look kind of like, an African acacia tree that the giraffes eat. And some of them look more like a weeping wampin willow, and you can kind of see the variation. Now, this turn, we're kind of done here, right? Let's do one thing. Let's make a block that draws a bunch of trees randomly at random positions. Okay, so we're going to make a block, draw trees, and we're going to give it one option, an input of a number, and we'll just call it amount. And we'll say OK. And what does this look like? Well, we're going to say, well, this is drawing a tree, right? So we're not going to do it when the green flag is clicked. We're going to call draw trees, and we'll draw one of them when the green flag is clicked, just to make sure it works. And yeah, we'll draw a tree, draw a tree, draw a tree. Now, before I draw 5 trees or 4 trees, let's make this tree draw at a random location. Okay, so first we go to XY. Let's find a range. I don't want to go too high, or we see the branches. Let's maybe go to the middle, about 0. So we can go random number. The X is as far as you want, left or right. Okay, let's go anywhere between negative 240 and positive 240. So left to right on the screen, anywhere you want. And Y should be limited at random numbers. Anywhere put this tree between the high is 0 and the low is 180. So negative 180, at the bottom of the screen down here. Put your mouse there and look at these numbers. To 0 in the middle of the screen. Okay, and then do the rest of the tree. Crap, so I'm going to hook that back up. Move this down. It's starting to get a little bit hairy. I'll move these kind of over here. And you can see them all still. This isn't too scary of a project. I'm going to hit play and draw a random tree right here. Here a tree, there a tree, everywhere a tree. And then I'm going to draw 3 trees. Oh, that one's very full. And check this out. Boom, boom, boom. And what's going to happen when I try... Oh gosh. It doesn't do it right. I need to repeat. Repeat drawing a tree amount of times, right? 3 times, 4 times. So let's hit play again. Got 1 tree. Oh, snap. 2 trees is going off all kinds of crazy. 3 trees is going even worse, okay? And notice those clones, there's getting more and more of them. They never reset. They still kind of existed at the end, okay? So it was using the previous clones and making more clones. So at the end, when I'm done, what do I need to do? I need to kill all those clones, okay? So this is to avoid stuff. I'm going to hit play again. You can watch it. 1 good tree. Oh, and then it died. It started getting more branches. Oh, the clear thing happened. Let's get rid of clear. Okay, we're not going to clear anymore until the beginning here. 1 tree. 2 tree. There's a tree over there, and a tree over there, and we should get a third tree, but still all those same clones are spiraling out around on the other trees, okay? So check this out. If you can fix it, go ahead. That's awesome. If not, watch close. We're going to delete the clones when they're done drawing, right? Delete this clone. Now, not at the end of draw branch, because we call draw branch a lot. Not at the end of split, because we call split a lot. After all the repeats, we're going to delete just the first clone, though. So I need to say, hey, when I'm done with all this, I'm going to so when I'm done repeating this tree, we'll make a broadcast called Kill the Clones. Which Star Wars would have ended completely differently if that order would have been issued. Instead of, spoiler alert, kill all the Jedis. Boom, boom, tree, tree, tree. Here a tree, there a tree, everywhere a tree, tree. Okay? Some of these trees are sparse and thick and short. They're like little scrub brushes. Now check this out. Did I want to delete it at the end? I wanted little leaves at the end, little green leaves, or maybe I brought a cool leaf in from the internet. What should I do right before it deletes, right before it disappears? And this is kind of like your life. Eventually, when your tree comes to an end, you will wink out of existence too. But how do you leave your mark? Well, some of you pee on fire hydrants. Some of you do something stupid that you're known for, but it still dies with you. Some of you will have children that leave your stamp. Clones. Children are clones. Half the wife and half the husband, right? Or whatever. But, yeah, we're going to stamp first. I guess it's nothing like life. But we're going to stamp once you get to the end. Boom! Right before you disappear. And notice these aren't clones anymore. I can't drag them around. What the? Oh, those are branches. Okay. So now we've got draw trees, and you can tweak the settings to your heart's content. Maybe they're too full, too bushy, too curly. You can change any kind of number, and you're like, I want to make all those variables. Well, I like random when I'm doing stuff like this, but maybe you want to make them interactive or sliders and stuff. Your choice. But I hope you had fun with this project, and we'll see you in the next unit.